you made a mistake, and your friend, being a great friend, is saying and doing all these amazing things to encourage you and to get you to see the situation in a different way, in a positive way. But in your head, you're telling yourself, nope, they're just saying these things because they're my friend, and that's what friends do. No, this mistake is the beginning of a series of mistakes. This is what I always do. I never get it right. I make mistakes all the time, always. Yep. If any of those sound like you, you are experiencing a cognitive distortion, and we all experience cognitive distortions at some point in time. And today I'm going to talk about 3 of the most common ones, and by the end of the video, you'll have some tools to get your distorted thinking in focus. So come on in, let's get started. Welcome. I'm Dr. Tracy Dickens, a licensed clinical psychologist. And if this is your first time here, welcome to the community. And if you've been here before, I'm so glad you came back. Today, I'm talking about cognitive distortions. Well, I'm talking about 3 out of the 10 to 12 cognitive distortions that we humans experience. When I say we humans, I mean we all experience cognitive distortions. There's no way around it. Our brain is hardwired towards a negative perspective, towards a negative interpretation of our world. And this is part of our self-preservation wiring. Think about our ancestors when they would go hunting in the woods, and they're out there with other tribal members, and they're in the woods, and they hear the crack of twigs, and they hear all these noises. There has to be a certain alertness of the possibility that the very thing they're hunting for could be hunting for them. Our thoughts are the result of our expectations, life experiences, values, hopes, desires, all kind of in this cocktail. And the more kinds of experiences that we have, the more kinds of sensory experiences that we have, really shapes how we start to interpret our world, and just feeds into an already negative leaning and can just distort that leaning even more. And that brings me to the 3 cognitive distortions I'm talking about today: negative filtering, all or nothing thinking, or overgeneralization. When I was an undergrad, I was hardcore perfectionist. It was all A's all the time, no exceptions. And in my high school career, I was an honor student. I did really well. So I didn't really have any reason to doubt that A's were a possibility. So when you get to political science and you're an A student, I mean, come on, this is going to be easy. Well, I got a C. And I was devastated. I went into a full-blown panic attack. Yes, a panic attack over a C. But when you're a perfectionist and A is the only answer, a C is devastating. In my mind, the C was, oh my gosh, I can't believe it. I'm failing. I have failed college. And because I've failed college, I'm going to get kicked out. And then when I get kicked out, I'm going to be working at McDonald's. And maybe one day I can be the head French fry cook. And I'll probably always have to live at home with my mom. And what am I going to do? I can't believe I'm failing college. Now, some of you are probably chuckling and maybe even judging. I had learned to have this high expectation for myself. Perfection is the only thing, and I'm not perfect. And not being perfect means rejection. And rejection from an evolutionary perspective means I'm a tribal member without a tribe, which means I won't survive if I get attacked by a bear. And you see how this just goes down a rabbit hole? Do you see how the cognitive distortions get caught up in an experience that we have internally and innately for a reason, but how it can get twisted and confused? My cognitive distortion is a negative filter. Then even when my friend is telling me that, you know what, you're smart, you got into college, you got a scholarship, you're going to get back on track, you are going to crush it. In my mind, I'm telling myself, yeah, my friend's just telling me this because she's a really good friend, and that's what friends are supposed to do. I made a C. I might as well just go ahead and just withdraw from college. Any evidence that she is telling me counter to what I'm experiencing just isn't going to get processed. If I'm somebody who maybe leans more towards overgeneralizing, which is our tendency to have one experience and just generalize it into similar experiences. So if I get rejected by one person, it's going to be rejection from multiple people. So to get a C in one class just means, well, this is probably just the beginning of a long series of C's. I'm more of a person who is an all or nothing thinker. Then it's going to be either it's all good or all bad. If the expectation is an A and anything other than an A appears, it's failure. It's going to be, I always do this and I never get it right. And it's always going to be this way. So how do you get unstuck? How do you move forward? Well, I'm glad you asked. Develop cognitive flexibility, which is our ability to adapt to changing situations, to take on different tasks at one time, to experience multiple perspectives, to use creativity for problem solving. Just allows you to be malleable in your thinking. And I like to use the analogy of water. It can flow, it can move around, it can take on the shape of whatever it's poured into. Things can float in it, like it can just change and adapt and flow. It's a moving process. It has choices and malleability. Now, when it's in solid form, when it's ice, it's rigid. Whenever it comes up to an obstacle, it has to stop. It can't flow around it. It gets stuck in that place. Developing this way of being that's more cognitive flexible so we can adapt and change and adjust, that allows us to have choices. How do we develop cognitive flexibility? Break up your routine. Do things different sometimes. Most of us go through our days on autopilot. We're just going through the motions. And when we go through the motions, we miss out on all these opportunities to experience positive experiences in our day. Our mind just sees it as the same thing over and over. And so it's easy to get lulled into this way of thinking of, this is how it's always going to be. This is just one thing that's beginning the process of the same thing. Changing the routine, taking a different route, eating different things, taking on a hobby, doing anything basically that's gonna shake up your routine, that's gonna get you out of autopilot. The next thing, emotional willingness. And I'm gonna link a couple of videos down below that you can watch that can teach you how to be emotionally willing. And the more willing I'm able to accept discomfort and unease and frustration, the easier it is for me to keep myself from going into full-blown panic, and I can reason through my experience. The other thing I have clients do is a journaling exercise. Is get out a piece of paper and write down 3 things that you can see in your room. 3 things, any old random thing. So I can say, I can see my cat over there laying in the sun. I can see those flowers over there, and I can see, this water bottle. And then, so you write those things down and add, what's something positive about this water bottle? Well, I like this water bottle because it's really big and I know I can drink 2 of these in the day and have the water that I need for the day. I love my cat, Harper over there. He's really cuddly and nice. And the flowers, they have like this little sparkly kind of glitter on them, so they're really cool. Okay, so 3 things. Now, those same 3 things, write down 3 things that you don't like about them. Okay, well, this one, it's really hard to carry this in my car. My car has cup holders, but see, that's too big. So when I put it in my car, I'm putting it on the passenger seat, and sometimes it has a tendency to roll off. So that's kind of a not so good thing. Harper, Harper, for all his love, he's a cat. So sometimes he's not nice. But I love him, but he's not nice sometimes. And then those beautiful flowers that have glitter and sparkly on them, they're great, but they have glitter on them, which means that I get glitter on the carpet, which is annoying. And the purpose of this exercise is to show you that everything has the potential for a good and a bad thing. And so when we're forcing something to be just bad in a series of bad, it's not even realistic, because Things are just things. They possess a complexity of possibilities, and what we focus on becomes the reality for that thing. If I decide to focus on this can't fit in my cup holders, and then I don't like it, and then I stop using it. But it's not because there's anything wrong with it. I have chosen that it's wrong because it doesn't fit my cup holders. Understand? And so the more you kind of recognize that we are complex and our world is complex, it allows you to be complex, it allows other people to be complex, and you, my friend, are developing cognitive flexibility. Yeah? See how I did that? Pretty cool, huh? I know. I hope you enjoyed this video today. I hope the information was helpful. If you liked it, then push the like button down below, subscribe, and as always, until I see you the next time, choose joy and take care. Bye.